Alright, I got some water jiggling here, but it's Monday morning. Last time I recorded a video was Friday. I was at the conference by Friday, and I mentioned I had a sore throat. By Friday night, I had a fever. My nose felt irritated. My voice was kind of squeaky. Saturday, I tested myself for COVID and was positive. And it's been pretty mild. I guess the sore throat was just that one night, Friday night. On Saturday, Rebecca and Rick came to visit, and I was in bed all day, so I didn't see much of them. But I had a fever, about 102 or so. And then yesterday, Sunday, I started to feel better. Except I just still have the irritated nose, some drippiness, kind of a little bit of a dry cough. So I didn't want to call out at work today or at all this week because I'm supposed to have surgery on Friday. Jessica's like, are you going to call the anesthesiologist and tell him you've got COVID? And I'm like, well, to me, COVID is not that big a deal now. I mean, I know it's the big bad boogeyman. She actually never caught it. Somehow, she's one of those people. I think this is my third time at least having COVID. So I kind of expected a milder, reaction to it, and that seems to be what I got. So I didn't want to call out work because this is an easy week for me at work. Well, I take sick time and use it all up. An easy week. For example, right now I'm headed to Black Mountain, which is about a 2.5 hour drive from where I live, just to do a tour for like an hour and 30 minutes, and then headed back home, and that's my work day. I'm not calling out from that, even though I was up all night last night almost. Tomorrow is a report from home day. I've got 2 monthly reports I didn't finish, 2 clients to wrap up. I mean, I have almost nothing to do. So I can busy myself with training or something like that. I don't need to call out, especially it's a report from home day. Wednesday's an intake day. I'll be in the office. I'm talking right now. It's Monday. I expect to be able to talk better on Wednesday. And I know I'm not contagious because I haven't had a fever since yesterday. So still unpleasant, I was telling Jessica this morning, with me and my 2 siblings, my brother and sister, I'm the only one that's had chronic health problems. I mean, I've just had almost non-stop physical problems in my life. When I was a kid, I had asthma, allergic asthma, that was mostly untreated until I was an adult, other than store-bought inhalers, over-the-counter inhalers that are not very effective. I guess because my parents were broke and we didn't have insurance, it was expensive to go to the doctor. I guess. I don't know how we didn't qualify for government assistance. But yeah, I always had asthma, and that became a real serious problem in my late 20s while I was at Pepsi. Put me out of work for about 1.5 years. Had twisted ankles several times, had surgery on my left ankle, my vasectomy, for example. I worked with guys at Pepsi that said that they got their vasectomy on a Friday night or Thursday. They were back to work on Monday. I was out for 3 weeks with swelling. My body's just different. And like I said in the last video, it seems like every time I go to a conference, I come back with something. Last time I went to a conference, it was COVID. I came back with it. Went into Dallas, I think it was. But I guess God knew all this. I was listening to a sermon yesterday. There's a Calvary Chapel in Winston-Salem. And I was watching them on Facebook Live. I don't know how I discovered them. Some comment on Facebook. And he was talking from Acts chapter 18, I think it was, right after Paul had been to Athens when he went to Corinth. And Paul wrote to the Corinthians that when he shared the gospel with them, he wasn't feeling great. He was in weakness and fear, and much trembling. I don't remember. It was either the Galatians. That might have been the Galatians he wrote to. Anyway, Paul said he had some struggles. I mean, it was kind of implied in that chapter that he had some kind of struggles going on, specifically fear. Because the Lord spoke to him and said, don't be afraid, keep on speaking the word. And he stayed there a year and a half. But anyway, the guy who was speaking was kind of drawing on that, the struggles of Paul. And I appreciated that he was mentioning some of those things, because there's a lot of preachers that are in fantasy land. It's like when they read the Bible, they read it with blinders on. They just don't see those things. It's almost unimaginable to them. And they actually will preach. If you're not successful and you're not healthy and you're not this and that, then you're not in the real faith. You've done something wrong. Because what God wants for you is to be sweet, joyful, happy, wealthy, healthy, all the time. He always wants the best for his children. I mean, I've heard it preached. It's a crock of shit. What it is. Call it what it is. Those people are false teachers. They're not reading the Bible, Old Testament or New Testament. I have been asking the Lord, though. Last night was a mostly sleepless night because I'm stupid and I took Sudafed right before bed, which I won't do tonight. And I was up, just in a stupor. My brain in a fog, but racing in all different directions, thinking about Ryan, Garrett. Thinking about just being chronically ill, sick all the time. All I want to do is get well enough to get a surgery on Friday, which I've been trying to get addressed for 6 months. I don't want to delay the surgery. God said his strength is perfected in weakness. So I'll do the best I can. Trust that God will do the rest.